Navy Corpsman Melson J. Bakos agreed to a plea bargain in October of 2006. He pleaded guilty to reduced charges of kidnapping and conspiracy. Charges of premeditated murder and related offenses were dropped in exchange for his testimony against the 7 other squad members. Bakos received a 12-month prison sentence. He was released in March of 2007.
Bakos has dropped off the face of the earth as far as I can tell. No one sees him, no one talks to him. He doesn't exist.
Private First Class John J. Jodka pleaded guilty to reduced charges of aggravated assault and conspiracy to obstruct justice on November of 2006. He was the first Marine to take a plea deal. Jodka also testified against the other Marines. He was sentenced to an 18-month prison term. He was released in July of 2007. Lance Corporal Tyler A. Jackson pleaded guilty to reduced charges of aggravated assault and conspiracy to obstruct justice in November of 2006. He received a reduced prison sentence of 21 months in return for his testimony. He was released in August of 2007.
John Jodka and Jackson are still working for Headquarters Battalion in the Marine Corps. Jackson's working as a personal assistant to the 1st Marine Division lawyer.
Lance Corporal Jerry E. Shoemate pleaded guilty to reduced charges of aggravated assault and conspiracy to obstruct justice in November of 2006. He received a reduced prison sentence of 21 months in return for his testimony. He was released in August of 2007.
Jerry Shoemate is serving in Iraq right now as a bodyguard at General Post.
We either gonna, get out of this together, or we're gonna be at Leavenworth, together, sticking up for each other there.
The government said 8 years dishonorable discharge. My immediate reaction was, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. I won't take that deal.
And I was like, hey, well, I ain't going nowhere. I'm here. Magic, you saved my life in OF2, dog. I'm here with you to the end, dog. And Hutch, man, you my squad leader, dog. You got me. You had my back when everything else turned. And Penny, I've known you since, I came in the Marine Corps. We all gonna stick this out.
They keep grinding on you. They're grinding on your very soul. At that point, you just give up. I took it.
Lance Corporal Robert Pennington pleaded guilty to kidnapping and conspiracy in February of 2007. He was sentenced to an 8-year prison term.
Penny had a lot of pressure on him from his family and his lawyers too, just like everybody else. And when Penny caved in, I'm like, oh man, it's just a matter of time. And it's going to be everybody, and the prosecution's telling you, you're going to be the only one left, and everything's going to come down on you. So the safe bet would, take the deal for 15. Deal and 15 shouldn't even be in the same sentence.
It wasn't over. I still had to go through the trials of Thomas, Hutchins, and Magic. I had to testify against 3 people that I would have rather put a bullet through my own head.
I'd rather go to trial and take my chances and let God deal with it than, go down without a fight. I said I'm changing my guilty plea to not guilty.
Corporal Trent Thomas pleaded not guilty to charges of kidnapping and murder. He was acquitted of premeditated murder, housebreaking, and conspiracy to make false official statements, but was convicted of kidnapping and conspiracy to commit murder by a military jury in July of 2007. Thomas was sentenced to time served and was released.
Thomas was the first one to get sentenced. He got no time at all. That was awesome. The feeling I got when I saw that on the news, I was jumping around. They had to put me back in my cell because I was not behaving.
I didn't know what they meant at first in the courtroom. They don't say you're free. They say other things, and I was just crying. And he was so calm, like, yeah, I'm going home today. But I was just like hyperventilating. But no, it was the best day of my life.
I prayed, and this may sound crazy, but I prayed, and I was like, I am getting out of here. I am getting out of here. My lawyers were like, everything's going pretty good, but you never know. I went back to the brig, and I packed my stuff. I packed my stuff that night, and I was like, I'm going home. I am getting out of here. And lo and behold, I got out.
Thomas got off because he had a good defense. He had his traumatic brain injury coupled with, I was following orders. The orders he was following, well, I knew and stated that I knew them to be illegal. I knew them not to be not legal, but I still consider them to be necessary. he stated that the orders he was following were legal and therefore he was obligated to follow them. And in the circumstances we were in, you can't take time to question orders, question the legality of orders that were coming down. You had to follow them or it was your life. And I totally agree with that, 100%. Thomas is becoming a cop. He's up in Fontana now with his wife and 2 kids.
Corporal Marshall Magin Calda pleaded not guilty to charges of kidnapping and murder. He was acquitted of premeditated murder and kidnapping, but was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder, larceny, and housebreaking by a military jury in July of 2007. He was sentenced to time served and was released.
Marshall Magin Calda is now going to Mesa College. He's getting his finance degree and is going to become a lawyer. When Magic's sentence came down and he came down with time served but an honorable discharge, I was absolutely ecstatic. My wildest dreams had been realized. Thomas and Magic, 2 of my best friends in the entire world, were out of jail. I didn't really care what happened to me at that point. I regained some of the hope that I might get out of jail, but at that point it was a win in my books.
On August 10th of 2007, Lieutenant General James Mattis granted clemency to Robert Pennington, the 7th of 8 Marines jailed for the Hondonia killing. Earlier that week, Lieutenant General Mattis also released Tyler Jackson and Jerry Shoemate from the Camp Pendleton Brig. The decision to free these 3 Marines left only one defendant behind bars, Squad Leader Lawrence Hutchins.
During my clemency hearings with General Mattis, I offered to go around and talk to people in the Marine Corps about what happened and what the situation is and what went wrong and how it could have been done to prevent it in the future. I think he liked that idea, but it was denied. The Marine Corps just wants this to go away and that they can have other people talk about what happened in the situation without having me show my face. Hutchins was the leader. He was the one who was responsible for all of us. He was responsible for our lives. He was responsible for our actions. In the Marine Corps, responsibility at that level is taken extremely seriously. I viewed Hutchins' responsibility to bring us home alive as the reason for what we did, why we did what we did. They saw his responsibility. They saw his actions as an abuse of responsibility. They took him and they hung him out to dry because he was the leader. They held him responsible for all of our actions, not just his. Hutchins is still in Leavenworth, serving out a 14-year sentence. He's not forgotten. He still has friends. People out there still loyal to him. And we're fighting every day to get him out.
I just want to provide for my family. I just want to, I want my kids to have, everything that I didn't have. And for the most part, I just, I want my boy Hutch to get out. I want him to be able to, continue his life.